Hey everyone, it's Ollie here, and Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, is 15 years old now, and while it doesn't look like we're getting a new game anytime soon, the franchise will always be held high by so many people, including me. Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy was one of my first video games I ever played, and it's been one of my favourite games ever since, even to this day. To honour the 15th anniversary of the game, I figured that I would share with you some of my most prominent memories of the game. I figured that I'd make it more of a structured video rather than just me rambling, so I'm going to organise it into the top 5 most memorable moments of me playing Jak and Daxter. I was about to say The Lost Frontier then, the Precursor Legacy. Here we go. Number 5. So kicking things off, we have, well, the game itself. It may seem like a filler one, and it probably is, but nostalgia made the game so much more fun when I returned to it this year after not touching it since the last decade. I never expected that I'd be affected by nostalgia, as I'm normally not, but when I walked through Sentinel Beach after that tutorial and saw all the lurkers around me and the cannon tower, so many good memories from my childhood just came flooding back to me, and it was great. Number 4. Those of you who have ever collected all of the power cells in the game will likely have experienced the struggle of the mission Find the Hidden Power Cell in the volcanic crater. The reason most struggle with this is because there is little room for error, and almost all of the method for the mission actually takes place in Spider Cave, a completely different location, so that if you don't use a guide, it's so hard to work out what you have to do. The mission was the only time that I actually consulted a guide for a game, and to this day it still takes me several attempts even though I know exactly what to do and how to do it. The difficulty isn't what I remember though. I can never forget that somewhere in my Google search history is a tutorial for a mission in Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy, and that makes me quite sad. Number 3. This one actually took place before I ever got to play the game. This is because one of my two sisters, the youngest of the two if you're interested, owned the game before me, and in fact at the time owned it and I didn't. When she would play it, I used to watch the game intently because I was never actually allowed to play it myself, and I was just amazed by it and I really wanted to know how to play it. But when I saw my sister stood in the Precursor Temple, open up a menu, and then when she closed it appear in Sandover Village, I was like, whoa, did she just teleport across the map? How do I do that? So I was there constantly asking her how to teleport across the map, even though I knew I'd probably never actually play the game. I never got my answer from her because she didn't have a clue what I was talking about, but when I thought about it a few years after, well, it was actually really about 5 or 6 years later, I realised that all she did was change save files, each of them being in a different place. And it's kind of embarrassing now that I think about it that I made that mistake. Number 2. When I first returned to the game this year, I finally completed the game for the first time. When I did so, I realised that I should, being a completionist, reach the true ending by collecting 100 power cells. When I set myself this goal, it never occurred to me that there were actually more than 100 in the game, and eventually I got the 100 required, watched the true ending, and returned to Mountain Pass to collect the few precursor orbs that I missed on my first run through. When I got there, I checked the pause menu to see how many more I needed. From what I remember, it was about 10, so I don't really know how I missed that many on my first go. But when I did, I went through the power cell menu and realised there was actually still a power cell that had gone uncollected. It was the hidden power cell one. So when I used the yellow eco to get it and reached 101 power cells, I began to freak out, thinking that I glitched the game or something and managed to obtain more than normal. Maybe one cell got counted twice or wasn't claimed and then I got it afterwards. But no, I was wrong. There was just meant to be more than 100 in the game. And I mean, still to this day, I don't understand why there are more than 100. It's not really a true ending. Number 1. As I mentioned earlier, my sister was the one that owned the game, not me, and therefore I wasn't allowed to play it, and this spot kind of links to number 3. This is actually the story of how I got to play it for the first time, and how I came to own the game. So my sister had played the game for a while and had basically completed the game, But then one day, a miracle happened. She actually decided to let me play it, and that's it. That's how I got to play the game. No, I'm kidding. So I got to start my own game, played through the first part. I obviously had to save my game so she could return to hers. But back when this happened, I was like 8 and I didn't really understand how save files worked. Long story short, I saved my new game over her almost complete one. As you can probably imagine, she was slightly annoyed, but to repay her, she decided that I should play my new save file until it was at the same stage of the one that I erased, and then give it to her. So, as punishment for accidentally deleting her save file on a game that I wasn't allowed to play, no matter how much I wanted to, I was allowed to play it on my own PS2 whenever I wanted. Oh yeah, and funny story, right? I never did actually finish it. And that's it. There are the 5 most memorable moments from all the time that I've spent playing the Precursor Legacy. I really enjoyed making this list, and remember, it was made to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the game. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'd really appreciate it if you could smash that subscribe button, like this video, and maybe share if you want to, well, share it. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, thank you all for watching so much.